All right, draft review. Night one, pick one. Panthers. You only did wrong if you didn't take Bryce Young here. There was size concerns, could get beat up a little bit, but besides that, came from Alabama, faced the pass rush in the SEC, threw under pressure more than any other quarterback in this draft. So throw under pressure, I think, is very good. I wanted him to go to my team, which is the Texans, which is number 2 pick. Which brings me to the number 2 pick. C.J. Stroud. God, I hate this guy. I hate that the Texans drafted him. Why? Because if you look at every single one of the highlights, it's a perfect pocket. I don't know what he's going to do under pressure. Otherwise, he is throwing dots. But the problem is, he's also throwing with the best wideout in the college football league. God, I would rather have tanked one more year to get Caleb Williams. That is my guy. Caleb Williams is my guy. And I want him. I wanted him, but I don't think I'm going to get him anymore. Will Anderson Jr. I don't know what they gave up for that pick, but I like it. I like Will Anderson Jr. for the edge. They needed something to get a little bit of pass rush through. But their defense wasn't terrible. It was their rushing defense that really gave up the most. It's just their offense stuck so much that they kept on giving up the ball. Number 4, Anthony Richardson out of Florida. You're basically drafting him off of his combine performance. I mean, he's only had 13 games in college football, I think. I mean, yes, he's shown that he can run out of the pocket, throw into the end zone. Yeah, I get that. I mean, the numbers, you like them. You liked what you see at the combine. You liked what you saw from Levi Levitz at the combine. But I don't think it's the right quarterback here. I know that the Eagles offensive coordinator went to the Colts and they wanted probably a more like mobile quarterback, but it didn't have to be Anthony Richardson. Number 5, Devin Witherspoon to the Seahawks. It might have gone a little early here. But they wanted someone to counteract with... Oh, I can't think of his mind. Not his mind. His name. The other corner that they drafted last year to be on the opposite end. I get that. I really thought they were going to go more of a D end, maybe Jalen Carter, but it doesn't really bother me here. Cardinals, Paris Johnson Jr. out of Ohio State. Definitely the number 1 OT in the draft. There wasn't the only other one that I could really think of went farther down, and it was Darnell Wright was my other one that I could see going that early. But otherwise, you needed to secure that line, even though Kyler is just going to run out of the pocket anyway. Tyree Wilson. I really thought Levi Levitz was going right here, or Will Levis. I really thought he was. But they wanted someone on the opposite end of Max Crosby. I get that. We can go with that. Bijan Robinson. I've heard a lot of good things about this guy, but you had Cordell Patterson, you had Tyler Algier in front of him. But if they decide to make Cordell Patterson just like a special teams guy and maybe put him in special formations, I could definitely see it happening, and then having more Algier, more of a third down back. That would make sense to me anyway. The only other thing that I thought they were going to might do is take the wide receiver out of Ohio State, maybe there, but they also got Drake London. Eagles, Jalen Carter, as they continue to go on with their Georgia defense. Nothing else said here. As long as he plays well, keeps himself out of trouble, I think he's going to have a great career. Darnell Wright for the Bears at 10. Besides Paris Johnson, probably the best tackle in the draft. That's pretty much enough said. Didn't even allow a single sack in the SEC at... I think he went to Tennessee? Yeah. Peter Skronsky I heard good things about this guy. They lost Taylor Lewan in their offseason. Titans did. So I could definitely see it. I think they also lost another offensive lineman other than him. So that makes sense. 12, Lions. I think you reached a bit here. I mean, it's not as bad as what I think Green Bay did, but you have DeAndre Swift for another year after this. You just signed David Montgomery. I don't know why you need Jamar Gibbs. I mean, unless you're planning to trade away DeAndre Swift, or you don't like what you see and you just cut him, or something like that. I don't know. 13, Packers. Lucas Van Ness. Versatile D-end. I just watched the GM's post-conference after the draft. They said they valued D-ends more than their offensive skill positions. I mean, with a quarterback that's only started, I think, one game, I think you pretty much got to prioritize the offense there. Your defense wasn't that bad last year. It's just you had injuries, which happens. You gotta contain Kawhi Walker and his anger management against trainers, apparently. I didn't know that was a thing. But, yeah. Steelers at 14. I think they traded up to 14. Broderick Jones, Georgia tackle. Now, after watching the reaction from the Jets, that was going to be their pick. I got a good feeling that that's what they were going to do. But, hey, they're protecting their young QB, which is what you're supposed to do, especially when you're trying to build around him. Packers. Anyways, Jets at 15 took Will McDonald. They usually hit on D ends in the draft, D linemen in general, really. So I can't even say much bad things about here. Obviously, they wanted to upgrade the offensive tackle position, but it got picked right before them. So not much you can do. You gave up draft capital for Aaron Rodgers, which is like a 2-pick compensation. I don't know. Commanders at 16. Emmanuel Forbes, cornerback. Honestly, I really was expecting the tight end to go here. The tight end's name was... Oh, I just saw it. Dalton Kanad. That's who I was predicting to go here because they got Logan Thomas, but he's been injured so much. I really thought they were going to go tight end here. But corner isn't a bad position to pick up here because I know Ron Rivera likes his corners. Corners like Josh Norman. So it makes sense why they took him. Number 17, Patriots. Steal the draft, I believe, right there. That's the number 2 corner I had on my draft board, and he fell that long. I really thought he was going to go earlier, Christian Gonzalez. So I expect very good things under Bill Belichick's system. It's usually man-to-man, and then the 2 safeties are stuck in zone, so got to play hard and earn it. Lions, Jack Campbell at 18, Iowa. Lions, you are very confusing this year. You traded away Jeff Okudah. You didn't even draft a corner, which I really thought you were going to take Christian Gonzalez, but, whatever. And then you come out with Jack Campbell, linebacker. I'm guessing this is a rush linebacker. I'm guessing. And it's going to be more defensive-minded there. Buccaneers at 19. Kelja Cansey. Yeah, that's my best bet at that name. But if you really look at his numbers, he's pretty much identical to Aaron Donald, not just because he went to Penn State. It's more or less height, weight, the way he uses his hands, quick off the snap, stuff like that we really don't see often, and it just happens to be out of Penn. Again, I don't know. It pretty much looks exactly like Aaron Donald. So I think what's happening at the Buccaneers, they're actually changing schemes, so they need an RD tackle and our big man up front because there's only going to be 3 linebackers and then 4 D linemen. So that's what I think there. Oh, Seahawks. You got all the weapons now because you picked Jackson Smith and Nugba at 20. I'm not sure I said that right, but out of Ohio State. I really thought he was going to go earlier. I really thought the Packers were going to take him, to be honest, because they need help with the new quarterback in Jordan Love. I shouldn't say new, but inexperienced. So, I mean, even if I look back, I can think of other teams that probably could have taken him. I don't even know if the Bears should have, but they could have. The Falcons could have. The Raiders could have. Cardinals could have traded DeAndre Hopkins and got him. Just stuff like that. I really thought he was going to be able to move too, so. And then right after him, this is going to be the run of the wide receivers, is the Chargers going after Quentin Johnston. And our big wide receiver, I believe he's 6'3". Not really breakout speed by no means, but he's not slow. But he's 6'3", which it tells me he's going to be a throw it up and get it type of guy. And with someone like Justin Herbert who can throw it right where he needs to, that shouldn't be a problem. It's just a matter of if he can catch it or not. At 22, the Ravens. I knew what was happening here after Lamar signed the 5-year deal. They were going to take a wide receiver, and I was just saying, man, they're going to piss off Patrick Mahomes because they sent Zay Flowers to work with Patrick Mahomes. So, yeah, Zay Flowers was the pick, and it made all the sense in the world. Vikings at 23, Jordan Addison. This is another one that I thought was going to happen if they didn't take the backup QB in Levi Levis or Will Levis. I still can't figure out where that R name's coming from. Out of USC, again, I love USC. I really do. Amon-Ra, St. Brown, Jordan Addison, Caleb Williams. I just loved what happened there. Obviously, they lost Adam Thielen to the Panthers, so they needed someone to go on the opposite side of him. KJ Osborne, I don't know if he's ready for that yet, but they're there now. Giants actually traded up for pick 24, Deontay Banks. They really need to upgrade some pieces on their secondary, so I really don't blame them for that. I really thought Jacksonville wasn't going to trade as much as they did because they also needed corner, but they did. Pick 25, Bills. This is the tight end, Dalton Kennard. I mean, it's nice to have offsetting tight ends and Dawson Knox and now Dalton Kennard, but I didn't see it. I really thought they were going to go Porter here, Porter Jr. That's just my perspective. I know they had injuries in the safety spot. Not even going to bring that or injury up, but I guess I don't know what they were doing on the depth chart for tight end, so I'm not going to get into it. But I just didn't see that pick happening. Cowboys. Matt Mozzie Smith. D-end from Michigan. I'm a big Michigan guy. Charles Woodson was the guy who did that. But I'm not sure that's what they needed to draft. Honestly, I don't know if it's a backup running back. No, they got Leonard Fournette there now. A tight end would have made sense. Just saying, because you lost Dalton Schultz. I don't know. I just don't see the Cowboys winning at all with Dak Prescott at the helm, especially in the playoffs. So that might just be on me. Jaguars want to protect Trevor Lawrence at pick 27. Also, Cam Robinson got suspended for drug use for 6 games. So I can definitely see why they took this pick out of, I believe, Oklahoma. I really thought the Bengals were going to trade this pick at 28, but they ended up not because I thought someone was going to jump up and grab Will Levis. But they take Myles Murphy. I mean, I thought they already had enough pass rushers in Cincinnati, but they said, screw it, we're going to get our one. With Ted Hendricks, Sam Hubbard, then you got Reader, and there's another D tackle in there that I'm forgetting. But I thought they had it, just enough DNs, but they decided, hey, we're going to take another one. All right, this is where I thought Will Levis was going to go. I really thought he was going to sit a year behind Derek Carr, but I guess not. They take Brian Breesy, DN from Clemson. Honestly, I have no idea what the Saints are at with their D-line because I know they got Jordan Cameron, a left end, I believe. I also don't know what system they run, so. Oh, the Eagles are going to be the Philadelphia Bulldogs. God dang it, because they take another Georgia defensive lineman. Nolan Smith, the end. I mean, pretty soon that whole defense is going to be just Georgia guys because they got Jordan Davis, Nolan Smith. They got Jalen Carter. I don't think Derek Barnett went to Georgia. I think he was more of an Alabama guy. I don't know. But, and they also got the linebacker from Georgia as well in last year's draft. So, man, Philadelphia Bulldogs. Anyway, the last pick of the first round, Felix, I'm not going to say this right, Aduki Uzama, the end. I don't know what Frank Clark is doing in age, but I guess they were looking to pressure the quarterback just a bit more. Kind of like the Bengals. You're in a position where you're pretty much all the way at the top of your division consistently, and you're just wondering what you can do to make yourself better in the playoffs. What is going to push you over the top here? Well, Chiefs just did that, so what is going to make them even better? Well, what did you lose? You lost Juju Smith-Schuster. I think they're going to make a move in probably round 2 for I can't think of his name, but probably the Tennessee wide receiver, I'm thinking. But hey, day 1 thoughts and review that's pretty much it. I didn't go very full into detail on this. I just kind of breezed through it. Obviously, my favorite team, the Texans, I thought messed up on one pick, but made a second rebound pick when they traded up with the Cardinals. But, like I said, I would rather have Caleb Williams next year because it's not even close, and I think talent-wise, unless you give him a clean pocket every damn time. But that's just it. Well, hopefully day 2's better for my Texans. My dad's really excited right now at the thought that he could have he's a Rams fan, so you guys see that signed cleat, mini helmet eclipse, signed gloves up there. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff over there. Super Bowl ring. But hopefully my Texans don't fumble it. My dad's kind of excited if the Rams decide to maybe take a shot at Will Levis as a backup. If that happens, probably sit a year until Matthew Stafford gets hurt, creates some controversy, one of them is traded at the end of the year. Probably Stafford. But that's a bold prediction, and not gonna go there. Although, who fumbled the bag in this draft? I think the most. It's really in between the Lions and the Packers. Same division. Honestly, it makes a little sense why they went D-end there for the Packers, because they lost. Did they lose Rashad Gary? I don't think they did. Shoot. Preston Smith and the other Smith. I know they lost one of them. Zamir? Zadarius Smith. That's the one. Anyway, probably the Lions, unless Gibbs does a lot more than we think he's gonna, because they're gonna ship one of the running backs away. I don't think it's gonna be the one they just acquired, though, so I'm probably thinking it's DeAndre Swift. He might be gone. So, he might be on the trade block right now. We just don't know. Jameson, Williams is suspended, so there was a tiny bit of thought for a wide receiver there, but it's only 6 games. They lost Quentin Cephas permanently, suspended indefinitely for gambling. So the thought was there, but I think there was enough mid-round talent for them to drift away from it. I mean, the number 1 wide receiver in the draft didn't even go number 1 in order, so, well, by projections. Yeah. Well, here's hoping for a better day, too.